I'm Brontë, I'm one of the co-founders of Zeon Systems, and we are building the infrastructure for autonomous labs. We're running our very first internal experiments at Zeon, so we're benchmarking our system against real scientific work in biology and material science, and the early results are exciting. We think a lot about how do we give AI the context on different scientific machines, like a centrifuge or a luminometer. So here you can see one tool that we have where we focus on how do we give AI access to information like a grasp pose or the touch point on a luminometer that's going to open the lid. So a lot of our stack depends on these world models where we basically model where objects actually are in 3D space, and so we do our own relocalization routines, and this allows us to replicate the actual world that the robots are operating in. I think a lot of people don't realize how much AI still struggles with spatial reasoning, so that's why we employ world models and why we've built our own system to build these from scratch very quickly. So this allows us to represent the physical environment very precisely, and this structure actually allows you to use AI so much better. Like here you can actually see, so what we do is we have our own methods to localize objects in real time, all the way down to the articulations of objects. So for example, we annotated that on the centrifuge there's a lid on the mesh, so it can open and close. And that's stuff that we worked really, really hard to actually track quickly. So it's not something off the shelf that a lot of people can do. But we were like, you need to know if doors are opening and closing, if tubes are moving, and even if you think something is placed somewhere, having a few centimeters difference is ultimately the reason between something working and not working. Today we use flexible robotic systems to do this lab work. It's fully built from off-the-shelf components, and behind me I have some of our custom-designed 3D heat stirrer plates running. So we couldn't find on the market a heat stirrer that had a temperature sensor and an open Python API, so we built this for like 30 bucks. Yeah, fully controlled with the temperature sensor here and an ESP32, so super cheap and it works. So we do kind of unsexy problems like this all the time. And the early results are exciting. So less flashy demos and more, how do these systems hold up when the science gets hard? We're pushing models to think and explore at the frontier of science using our system. So you're just gonna have to come to the talk to learn more.